President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our dear president, has revealed plans to stop Nigeria youth from Japaing. And not just that, he has also revealed that he's putting in place measures to ensure that even the youths that have Japa to foreign nations will find their way back to the country. He made this revelation recently. Listen to what he said about it and share your thoughts.
Mr. President, thank you most sincerely for convening what we regard as the most consequential state-sponsored youth convening in recent times. This confab, we believe, is a demonstration of your commitment to not just youth development, citizens' engagement, and inclusive governance. Your Excellency, I'm not a youth, but I'm someone who works closely with young people, and I've done this over the last 20 years. And I must say that this is the first time, and indeed you're the president of Minifest. You're the first president who has appointed a young person, indeed, as a youth minister of youth. You're also the first president who has told the world that young people are more than media aides, because you've appointed, young people as your special advisors or special assistants, whether it's community engagement or civic leadership or even youth. I know some of them are here, Titi, Rinsola, who are my sisters who are doing brilliantly. So thank you very much, Your Excellency. We accept to be part of this because we believe that you are one who has the courage. You've taken bold actions in fixing our economy, some decisions that comes to a large extent with great consequences, but you have actually shown that you can make and take bold decisions. And that's why we're very delighted that you have conveyed this very consequential youth confab. The beauty of having a young person as a Minister of Youth is that he understands the language of young people, and upon this announcement, he has reached out to a vast majority of young people. And I think that we have agreed that perhaps there are 6 issues that should shape the agenda of the conference. The first one relates to political governance. Again, Mr. President, you have structurally really changed the political governance, either through the local government's financial autonomy and the actions that you've taken. And so one of the first issues was around political engagement. How do we open up the spaces for more young people to participate in the political process? The second is economic transformation. The economy is at the heart of the major thrust of your administration's goals. And specifically, we're looking at issues relating to the startup ecosystem, financing youth businesses, as well as opportunities in the digital economy. The third agenda issue is around education and skills for the future. And part of what we hope that this conference will do is to give us an opportunity, to reimagine our education system and make it meet the demands of the 21st century, either around STEM or curriculum review. Fourth is around technology and digital transformation. You've also shown that artificial intelligence, blockchain, and fintech is one that requires attention because it creates opportunities for young people. The fifth agenda is climate change and energy transition. Again, with the growing threats of climate change, which it poses for national development, we believe that this conference will provide an opportunity for youth climate change initiatives, energy transition, and how Nigeria can leverage climate action for sustainable development. And lastly, Your Excellency, is social cohesion and security. And this other issue, we believe, again, would address the question of national unity, integration, youth and peace building, and countering violent extremism. One of the things that the Honorable Minister have said, drawing from your mandate, is to make this inclusive. And there are 4 sort of formats that will be adopted for this. The first is virtual consultations. There are a lot of Gen Zs out there, including young people in diaspora. How do we harness their inputs into this entire process? So there will be virtual consultations. There will be call for memoranda and policy inputs, looking at a web portal that the Ministry of Youth will launch to harness contributions. Of course, also regional consultative town hall meetings. And then lastly, a convening of an Abuja conference. Your Excellency, Mr. President, when you first announced this conference, 2 things were said on social media. First, some people say this is a political move Secondly, people say this might end up as a talk shop. Your Excellency, as a committee, we believe that this is a unique opportunity, and the true measure of success for this, Your Excellency, is one, ensuring that there's adequate funding that is provided, for the conference, because the success of this conference is hinged on government support. And knowing you very well, you put your money where your heart is. And having said this, we believe that you provide adequate funding for this. The second is about bureaucratic bottlenecks. Your Excellency, if this conference is going to succeed, it needs to be insulated from bureaucratic bottlenecks. That way it will accelerate the conversations on the conference, but more importantly, the implementation thereof. Thirdly, Your Excellency, you have demonstrated by design of this confab, including the role that the Honorable Minister has played, that this conference needs to be insulated from politics. And that way, it gives everyone the confidence and the legitimacy of this process. So we call that this is completely insulated from partisanship, and by the diversity of people on the planning committee, it is very clear that the intention is a confab for all Nigerians, irrespective of their geographical or political extraction. In conclusion, Your Excellency, on behalf of my colleagues, we thank you for this opportunity, and we pledge that we will continue to contribute our intellect, our experience, our technical resources to produce visionary outcomes, practicable and actionable, believing that post the conference, knowing you as a president who takes bold actions, you will take bold actions to implement some of the recommendations, because the concerns out there is, will the president implement the recommendations? And given who we know as the president of our nation, you have demonstrated you can do that. And so we continue to put our trust and hope that the outcomes of this conference will be implemented. Once again, thank you for making history. Thank you for constituting Nigeria's most consequential state-sponsored youth activity. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Everybody to this very important occasion. This inauguration is the beginning of the progress of achievement, promise made by the President to deliver an inclusive youth conference to the future to promote youth engagement in decision-making and governance. For the youth to feel the empowerment, they must have a voice. The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is ready to listen to the voice of the young people of this country. This is why the President has approved the National Youth Conference as a platform for the youth to contribute productively and maturely to the national conversations. This conference will also give the youth the opportunity to contribute to government, policy, and programs to shape the future of this country. Mr. President, sir, the membership of these committees of this conference have been carefully selected as the representatives of different ministries, agencies, parastatals, VU, UNDP, FHI, Youth Focus organizations to champion and plan for this conference, a conference that will impact the life of the youth of these nations. And they are committed to make sure that we engage all the young peoples, even most importantly from the grassroots. Once again, I wish to express my gratitude and that of the Nigerian youth to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the support for the Ministry of Youth Development and the youth entirely. We thank you, sir, for making us your priority, and with your continuous support, Nigerian youth will continue to thrive. We thank you for the innovative ideas. The over 261 students have benefited from the student loan schemes in these administrations. Complete of total renovations of upgrading the Third Mainland Bridge for us to use, clear of backlogs of passports and many other things, commencement of construction of Sokoto-Badagry Coastal Highway, commencement of construction of Lagos Coastal highway also, establishing a lot of regional development commissions to promote the youth. Meanwhile, everything is meant for the young people of this country. Consumer credit corporations and commencement of operations of a lot of refineries that are coming up, one or two. Ongoing construction of over 100,000 housing units nationwide. Mr. President, sir, thank you for supporting the young people future of this country. Thank you, sir. May God bless you. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Your Excellencies, Chief of Staff, the Honorable Ministers, members of the National Assembly here present, all our friends and youth across the country, good afternoon. The company just mentioned that you have a refreshment after this meeting. I say, Ramadan Kareem. Whichever way you hang it, it's okay with me. I've listened to you carefully. Today is not for long speeches. I just want to reassure you that you are the hope of this country. Everything hangs in your future. Every decision that I've taken is about you. It's about tomorrow. When you remove all subsidy, you are protecting the future of generations yet unborn, the youths. Where is the investment for the infrastructure? When you listen to majority of the professionals saying with Japa, they means Nigeria, they leave Nigeria, it's because if you grow prosperity back home and you empower people, they would not bother to do that. They will stay home. This is your home to develop, build, and make prosper. Government of today is all about you. Take it very seriously. You can abuse politicians all the way you can, but politics is all about development and about the future generations. I'm glad you all are here as a committee to inspire today, tomorrow, and the day after. I'm with you. When we started, it looked so foggy, dicey, and hopeless. We tried hard, and we're drawing water from a dry well. But today, the economy has turned the corner. Prices are falling. Confidence in our economy is improving. Investors are looking in. Technology is advancing. You have the opportunity. I've listened to the remark of your spokesperson, you have the great opportunity of advancing the development of this country. It's all in your hands. Mine is to help navigate and push and lift the heavyweight problems, so I can clear the path for you to have a very great future. But it's in your hand. Look at me in the face. Tell me whatever you think is wrong and the way you want things done. Or suggestions. We try to implement all of it as long as it is for the prosperity of this country. One of you, Dr. Boku, is here. NDDC, good afternoon. Commending your efforts. It's doing very well. And I can tiptoe around you here. Any of you that have come across. Yes. Mine is to assure you that we do everything possible to make Nigeria a better place for you. But we can't do it alone. You represent over 60% of our population. You are the heartbeat of our nation. And I hope you take this opportunity very seriously. I am with you. I repeat again. I therefore inaugurate the committee. Wish you a very, very successful period, an interesting one. Let's employ technology in every way possible. Let's look at our farming conditions. Let's hear what we can do to empower youth and the farm spirit. Let's work for food sovereignty of this country. I like you. I can't be youth again. Maybe in the next life. But I'm envious of all of you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Honorable Minister, committee has just been inaugurated by President Bola Tinubu. You can just throw more light in summarizing what the committee is all about.
What the committee is all about is confab, and it's about the conference. And what we're saying is that we want to have another view of how we can engage the young people in different way, different dimensions, different from what they've been doing before. And let's see if we can have different results. And that is why it is comprises of experts, representative of ministry, National Assembly, permanent secretaries of some ministries, agencies, and all that, so that we can harness together, talk about the planning. It's majorly about the planning, it's not about the confab. The confab majorly troop after the young people of the country. And we are saying for the first time, we have 30 days. If we have 30 days unstopped, then we need to go back and put everything together and see, okay, what can we do? How can we go back to the grassroots? Start from there first. In the first week, have a second week in the regional, have a third week in brainstorming, putting everything together, and have a fourth week in coming to Abuja to come and have a pine section and every other things. And the president, I've just said, is with us, and it's ready to implement in as much as for the development of the young people. And like we all know, everything about this government is about the development of this country. Whatever decisions that have been taken is about Nigeria and is about the future of this country. So that I'm appealing to the young people and I'm appealing to them and begging them that this is for us. It is not political. We are ready to do an inclusive. If you are not available on Monday, you are available on Tuesday, you are available on Wednesday, you are available on Thursday, you are available on Friday, Saturday, excluding Sunday. And everybody is going to be happy for the inclusion and togetherness. We can build this country. It is our country, and we are not going to leave it for anybody. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, I know the name simplifies or signifies planning, but they said the devil is in the details. What would this committee be doing really?
What the committee will be doing is to set the 30 days of this compact and make sure that both financing, implementation, putting together in all senatorial districts, in all regions, putting the workforce together for the committee to implement this compact.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that's all. Yeah. We know you are part of government. Engagement. You say engagement or engagement?
Community engagement.
Community engagement. What role will you be playing? Are you part of the planning committee?
Yes, I am part of the planning committee, and the role we're going to be playing is because, just like the Honorable Minister has said, that this confab is not going to be like the ones that we've held before. This is going to go down to the communities. We're going to have it at the local communities, that is at the state level, before we go to the regional level, before we now come to the federal level. So that is why the community engagement is very important and is involved here fully, so that we go back to those communities and get their feedback and get their input, so that the whole ministry will now, the whole thing will now involve the local communities. Thank you.
Thank you.